All right, we are going to talk about these 7 types of houses you do not want to be buying in 2022. Number 1, bad layout. What I mean by these houses is you walk from room to room and there's step downs, there's step ups, the leveling is completely off. We bought a property at 428 East Locust Street in Angleton, Texas last year, and the master bedroom, the bathroom was not right off of it. And so there was a garage conversion, and it was a nice brick house. It was a good area across from a school, but the way the bedrooms and bathrooms were set up at this property, it was not easily accessible, the master bathroom to the master bedroom, and people really want that. You have to be thinking in your head about the end buyer and what are their expectations for them, their family, their living arrangements. So you do not want to be buying properties with a bad layout in 2022. You can fix certain things, you can knock down some walls, but there are some things that you just can't change. Number 2, additions. You'll see a lot of these properties sent to you from wholesalers with garage conversions, and what happens is they'll say, hey, it's a 2,000 square foot house, and you'll go on the appraisal district and it says, oh, it's a 1,500 square foot house. So what they've done is the seller has converted the garage, and the issue comes in with that is not necessarily adding extra value to the property. 9 times out of 10, it's not adding any extra value to the property, especially in neighborhoods that are 250,000 and up. People don't want an extra bedroom with the sacrifice of having no garage. So what they really want is they want somewhere to park their car. They want to park their truck in a garage. Occasionally, you can get away with it in certain neighborhoods. But in most cases, additions do not actually add extra value, so you have to be careful with that. Number 3, backup and negative spaces off of houses. What do I mean by this? You can see here, we have this property here. We're right next to an apartment complex, so there's definitely gonna be some noise. You could live behind a big commercial strip center. You could have railroad tracks. You could have railroad tracks right behind your house. You could have big lights from a commercial center. Those are the types of things we're talking about. And when you come, bring your buyers in. They're gonna notice things like this. And so really, you have to take off some value of what the potential ARV could be, and you need to think about that beforehand. Number 4, other investors' numbers and other agents' numbers. So we've made a mistake this year from that. We bought a property at 270 Cedar Valley Drive in Cold Spring, Texas. We bought it from a wholesaler, great guy, but he tried to pass along his contractor, and his contractor gave us a bid on the property for the repairs. That we relied on his bid for the numbers instead of what our contractor was saying. We're like, okay, we can negotiate it down. At the end of the day, you have to run your own numbers, you have to do your own due diligence. And really, it was my fault that I tried to take what his contractor said instead of what our contractor said, because in my gut, I knew that we had to do this rehab the right way, and it was going to be a bit more expensive. So you have to run your numbers. You can take all the data someone else gives you, a real estate agent gives you, a wholesaler gives you, but you need to look at that for yourself, make your own decision, or you're gonna lose your butt in 2022. Number 5, structural/gut. In 2022, houses they're going to be starting to take longer to sell. It's going to be higher days on market. We've been really gifted. We have been blessed. You put a market on a house on the market, you get offers, the day after. It's not going to be like that anymore. And the issue is that when you're doing all these structural repairs to properties, sometimes the neighbors call the city. Sometimes you have to pull a lot of permits, so the costs go out the roof when rehabbing, but really it's the extra time as well, because you'll have to pull all kinds of permits from the city. You might get the property red tagged if you don't pull these permits. And the thing about pulling permits is the city's on their time, they're not on your time, so takes longer, and in this business, time is money. All right, this is something dear and near to my heart because I've made this mistake as well. We're preaching to the choir here. I'm helping me and helping y'all at the same time. Okay, number 6, biggest house in the neighborhood, and this goes into no comps. So just because, so say that this neighborhood here, this is not a $500,000 neighborhood. This is a $200,000, maybe $250,000 neighborhood now, with your renovated home. Just because, and see if you can see, most of these properties are maybe 2,500 square foot or so. If you throw a 5,000 square foot house in this neighborhood, does it necessarily make this property worth double what a 2,500 square foot house is? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Has anything sold that big? There's going to be a cap on what a buyer is willing to pay in every area, neighborhood. There's going to be a cap on that price, and the larger the square footage you go, the farther down you're going to go on a price per square footage basis. And in my opinion, it's really just not worth gambling how much profit you're going to make. So you need to run those deals. If you're the biggest property in the neighborhood, I recommend either not buying it or just running the most conservative numbers ever. We bought a property this year at 5011 Spring Lane in Baytown, and it was over 7,000 square foot house on the bayou on about 3.5 acres. And the issue is we bought it for $490. We put over $200,000 in renovations, and we ended up selling this property. It's under contract to sell now for $950. It sounds like money, but at the end of the day, the holding costs really add up on these properties. We tried to sell it for a little bit more, and we couldn't sell it for. We thought we were going to sell it for $1 million plus, but in these areas, you just have to be careful when you're selling. When you're selling the biggest house in the neighborhood, you really don't know how much that buyer's willing to pay for that area. And then also, this goes into smallest square footage homes in the neighborhood. Your best buyer pool is really going to be around the median price point of homes. So I really don't think you want to be buying 700 square foot trap houses. That those types of buyers are just not good to deal with. It's not going to be fun. You're going to get the electrical, you're going to get things stolen out of your property. It's going to be in bad areas, etc., etc. So definitely keep that in mind. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you want to see, and show some love. Talk to y'all soon.